I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the New Orleans.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. On 2nd and 9, Carr gets it off to Freeman.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside. Now that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Carr completes it, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Carr to throw again. And this one complete to Reed. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A look at the numbers from a week ago for Reed. 5 catches, 63 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses have better focus on.
To throw again on 2nd down, Carr. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Third and 2, Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Brett Hundley. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here, you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd down, it's Freeman. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Mike, check, 59.
Throwing on 2nd down. Darnold. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Christian Wilkins in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Carr now throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys.
It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Davante Adams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Bullock good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, Freeman. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Out comes Davante Adams in the offense for their next drive. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
56, right there, 56. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 50.
Now on 2nd and 13, Darnold. And that's complete to Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Son. 56. Mike's 56. Squish, double. Ready. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Keep going, keep going.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And this is caught by Evans. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Here we go.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And again this time to the tailback. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Check 13. Check 13. Watch the end.
Now they try the right side here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And Bullock will put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football, something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. You have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
The final shot here before half for Carr. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Check 24. Check 24.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Red 80. Here we go. Play 56.
Darnold on 3rd down. He's got Evans. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
56 the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And Adams has it, complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get him into the right defense. They definitely won on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 29.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Darnold from the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're really excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. When it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field.
56 to my... Hey! 7.
Back to throw, Darnold. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Freeman again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing now is Carr. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Carr looking downfield for Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go! Let's go!
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Carr. And Reed with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Jones has it. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They run. Devontae Freeman. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now Carr under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Clelin Ferrell able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not one. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. Jordan Reed has it, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
This complete to Jones. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
One final try now for Carr. A short little throw taken in by Reed.